Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. On the day we are together again. On the day we are together again, I will pull you in close like a hoop with no end. On the day we are together again, we will share the same table again. We will share the same table again. I will pass you the salt, the candlelight will bend when we share the same table again. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will stop for a snack at the taco truck stand when we walk around the block hand in hand. Someday we will go back to work. Someday we will to the healers who keep us alive, to the healers who keep us alive. A toast to your courage, knowledge and light, to the healers who keep us alive, and the ones we love who are gone, and the ones we love who are gone. We remember the stories and we sing the songs for the ones we love who are gone. And on the day we are together.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Good to see you all in here. Today is February 15th, 2024, 8:35 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Good to see you all in chat. So, our little girl in San Antonio, they are searching a place very close to where little Linda was found. And I want to show you guys something. There's a lot to this case, and there's not a lot to this case at all. I want to go back to when almost to the very beginning. So if some of you don't know, no, she has not been found. She has not been found at all. She has not been found as of yet. They said they were today that they were searching for a body.
Jennifer, thank you.
This was about a year after she went missing. 1 second. I'm having a little technical difficulties.
Thank you. All right, so we just heard Marky Martin's report there. What is your first reaction to this case?
Well, my first reaction is I'm concerned that there has been no progress made despite all the efforts that have gone forward to try to find this little girl. At some point in an investigation, you have to look at what haven't you proved. So
little Lena's disappearance, there's not a lot on it. There is some surveillance video, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. But as we all know, kids don't just disappear. She was out playing, and she is seen on camera, and then she goes out of the camera angle, and she is gone. She is gone. And I feel like Jennifer Coffendorfer's, even though she's talking about Lena in this, I also hear things kind of Summer Wells related, like, what we are searching on, let's look at what we're not as well.
at this point, we have a little one who hasn't wandered off by the evidence, correct?
Mhm.
Because all this investigation has been done to find her and they haven't found her. So we kind of can eliminate the fact that she just wandered off. Now we're left with she's been abducted by someone she knows, she's been abducted by someone she doesn't know, or she's been harmed and discarded.
Now, FBI card team has worked on this case as well. They have worked on this from the beginning. You live less than an hour from San Antonio. She has been missing over 2 years now. Over 2 years. Little Lena has.
Which we hate to even think of that. Okay, so you say abducted by someone she knows, abducted by someone she doesn't know. which leads me to my next question, Jennifer. How is it Lena is not being treated as an abducted child? We know an Amber Alert was issued. The FBI child abduction team was called in, but she's not officially being ruled as abducted.
Well, but the actions taken are as if she were abducted. There is an Amber Alert that's been issued. The FBI card team is there. They are looking with all resources available for her. So this is certainly being treated as an abducted child case, whether the verbiage is there or not.
Okay. All right. Well, that's at least good to know. All right. Let's focus on some of the seeming discrepancies in this case. We know there are a lot of people. We have a lot of online sleuths following this case. Some of them have written into us, obviously here on Prime. We work on missing cases. Now they're saying that, Lena's being reported, her height and weight seem off for a 3-year-old. Okay, so being reported as 4 feet tall, 55 pounds. San Antonio police wouldn't directly answer that for Markey today. And according to an interview with a close family friend, apparently conducted by the Twitter group Moms for Missing, Lena is actually 5 years old. So why would police say she's 3? What are your thoughts? Is it just a coincidence?
Well, she's been reported as being 3 years old because that is according to her immigration status. But if we look at many of the immigrants that come from countries, including countries like Afghanistan with serious political unrest and so forth, the documents pertaining to this child might not actually pertain to this child. Oftentimes when people immigrate here, they don't have proper documentation. Sometimes documents are used that are a relative's. So this could be the reason. There's also good things that can happen from having a child enter as a younger age. First of all, they can receive benefits for a longer period of time, welfare type benefits.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is it gives them more time to assimilate into the country, to learn the language so that they can achieve once they go to school, as opposed to starting if you're 5 and you've just entered this country, starting in kindergarten doesn't work well. So there are some advantages, not saying they were taking advantage of that. I would lean toward the fact that the documentation just wasn't there.
Okay, well, let's talk about the reward. I mean, at this point now, it's grown to $150,000. How much of an impact do you think that could have on a case like this?
I think large rewards in all of these cases are imperative. And the reason is, while there's so many people out there that want to help because they're just good people, some people need more motivation, and that can be money. And so somebody might call in with a very important tip strictly because of this huge reward.
All right, Jennifer Coffendoffer, we always love to have you weigh in. Thank you so much.
So Jennifer said a lot there. She definitely said a lot. Who is it? Who has done this? Now, the dad, he did agree to take a lie detector test. I don't know if he ever took that lie detector test or not. Of a live stranger on call, 4 or 5 kids tried to call. Oh God, that's crazy. The last few days have been crazy. I don't know what's going on, but there has been mass pew-pewings. He did pass. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. There's been a lot of speculation, but no answers. Absolutely no answers. I know that at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that they thought the uncle could have been a suspect. But again, I don't think he's been ever named as a suspect. This is the last video. This is the surveillance video. I'm going to make it bigger for y'all. Of little Lena. She's in the footage and then she's out. And that
video did capture Lena playing on the playground. She was with her mother and her younger brother. At some point during the video, she walked off the screen, and that was the last sighting that we have of her on video. That day, that video did capture Lena playing on the playground. She was with her mother and her younger brother. At some point during the video, she walked off the screen, and that was the last sighting that we have of her on video. That day, that video did capture Lena playing on the playground. She was with her mother and her younger brother. At some point during the video, she walked off the screen, and that was the last sighting that we have of her on video. That day, that video did.
So that's all we got. That's all we got. After 16 months, he will not allow his wife to take a test. Interesting. That could also be cultural as well. I'm not trying to make an excuse, but it can be cultural as well, especially with the females. They're newer into, the country. So there's that. Yes, they searched, but an inmate took law enforcement out there early this morning. So someone, I'm going to play it for you in just a moment. Someone called in a tip early this morning. Yes, she was pregnant. She was pregnant, I see you. And they immediately went out there like that. And in the presser, they say that, they are looking for Lena's remains. They have not found anything as of yet that I am aware of. But that right here, this is the actual footage.
Capture Lena playing on the playground. She was with her mother and her younger brother. At some point during the video, she walked off the screen, and that was the last sighting that we have of her on video. That day,
someone knows. Either someone in this apartment complex knows, a family member, or, someone close around there knows, to say the least. There is $150,000 reward. That is enormous. That is enormous. And still, nobody has spoke. She is such a doll. She is. So yeah, it's very, very perplexing. I want to show you guys the dad. He was out there while they were searching today. Let me show you this thing first. Bear with me.
Watch you this morning now at noon. San Antonio police following up on yet another tip in the ongoing search for young Lena Khil, just a few days shy of her 6th birthday.
We have team coverage this afternoon. Katrina Weber is standing by. She was the first on the scene this morning. We'll have more from her in just a minute.
But first, you'll recall Lena disappeared from an apartment complex playground in December of 2021 when she was 3 years old. And right now, police are saying that they're following up on the tip from early this morning that led them to a greenway by some apartment complexes off of the 4400 block of Blue Mill, not too far from Fredericksburg Road near the medical center, only about a half-mile away from where Lena disappeared.
And that's where we find our Garrett Berger, who's been standing by this morning.
Away from where Lena disappeared. Block of Blue Mill, not too far from Fredericksburg Road near the medical center, only about a half-mile away from where Lena disappeared.
And that's where we find our Garrett Berger, who's been standing by this morning, talking to PIO. So, Garrett, what are the police saying so far this morning?
Right now, nothing specific, just that they're looking into the tip. They haven't released whether or not they found anything, though we did see them bring something out of this shed behind me just a short while ago. Generally, they're saying right now they're out talking because this is such a public area. An SAPD spokesman said the tip indicated they could find some evidence in this greenway that's surrounded by a couple apartment complexes. He wouldn't go into the details of the tip, but said it is possible they could be looking for young Lena's body right now. He says they have crime scene investigators out here and multiple partners, though he wouldn't say exactly which ones. We've seen dogs and some kind of equipment rolled through the wooded area, and they actually came out and started poking around that shed I mentioned at the edge of where we are, just outside of the wooded area. Now, it does appear people may have been staying in the greenway, though police say that does not tie into the case. And while police don't know if this is a good tip yet, the spokesman said they treat them all seriously.
In the last 2 years since Lena's been missing, there has been multiple searches. Not every search that we do, not every tip that we get is we put out there. One, for the integrity of the case, let the detectives do their job. But two, for the family. This is still a family matter. It's still personal to them. So we're not broadcasting every single thing that we receive. Again, in this case, it's just a public area, and that's why we're out here right now.
Now, the spokesman said to his knowledge, this area was subjected to a search after Lena's original disappearance. So
now this is only, I think they said, less than half of a mile from where she went missing. Very, very close. So
it's not clear what they may be finding this time around, but it is still being considered a missing persons case by San Antonio police. Now, right now, Katrina Weber's out near another apartment complex around the wooded area. She's been out here all morning. Katrina?
All right, we're getting quite an eyeful on this side. We have a different vantage point. We can see police going in and out of that wooded area, and they have all their equipment set up here. You can see this giant mobile crime scene unit.
I mean, just look at this area. This is a place where you would expect to find something or someone. Unfortunately, this, it's wooded area. I don't know exactly where precisely this is. I'm going to try to find it on Google here in just a moment. Yeah, it's time that this little baby's found home. Someone around here knows something. They absolutely do.
As well as other units here. We have seen people walking around as well with FBI jackets. So it appears that the federal investigators are here as well. Let me give you a look at the video that you can see from earlier. We've been out here since about 8 o'clock this morning. I did talk to several neighbors off camera, and they say that this setup was here long before that. So it seems that they may have been here since before daybreak. We have seen.
So they got FBI, they got local. Don't forget the FBI card team was, and I'm not sure if they were there today, but they were in the beginning of the case. As you see, they got dogs there as well. Don't know if they found anything. They haven't
seen police with dogs, with shovels, and also carrying cases of water into the wooded area, meaning that they may be here for the long haul. Now, we're not sure what, if anything, they have found. We have not seen them bring anything out of the woods except those dogs that they took in earlier. But they do have this active search going on here. And the timing may be a bit curious because we were told, or that we did confirm, that the family of Lena Khil met with police just yesterday. And now this search has come about today, police say, from a tip. So we are waiting to find out what, if anything, they have found as a result of the search based on a tip that they have received at some point in the past. But again, a very active scene out here, attracting a lot of attention from neighbors. Reporting live near the medical center, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so there we go. There we go with that. This was, we're gonna go to, I'm not gonna say it's a press conference, it's an interview that they were talking with the media today about what they were doing, what they were looking for, all of that. But I do want to show you just information about little Lena Khil. Little Texas Tornado, thank you so much for 23 months. You are an OG, my friend. and I appreciate you tremendously. Thank you so much. Melissa, Manny's and more, 2 months. Thank you for you, Justin. I hope she is found. Thank you so much, my dear. That is so kind of you. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Vic. And that is so generous and so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. You've always been generous to me, and thank you so much, really, from the bottom of my heart. Yes, that's very kind for sure. Thank you. All right, so this is from San Antonio Police Department. Nobody can tell you better than they can, so let's listen to this.
On December 20th, 2021, around 6:50 p.m., the San Antonio Police Department received a 911 call for a missing child in the 9400 block of Fredericksburg Road in an apartment complex.
So, Lena, she was 3 years old. There's information out there that she may be 5 years old. She's 3 years old from all intents and purposes. And at the time of her disappearance, was last seen playing on the playground at her apartment complex. She was wearing a red dress, black jacket, and black shoes. Gone very, very quickly. Now, the thing with this is, there did nobody see anything? Was there any other adults around at this time? I know that the mom supposedly went back into her apartment for just moments, but what were the other kids' ages? Nobody saw anything at all. So it's just very strange.
Immediately when we received the call, and there was a lot of resources that went to the scene that night, including calling in our federal partners with the FBI who made the scene. That night, a lot of people went door to door in the complex looking for her, talking to people that we could talk to see if anyone saw anything. There was hundreds of SAPD officers, detectives, FBI agents that were on scene, continuing to look for her, continuing going door to door, and then expanding our search into the neighboring apartment complex. We were able to retrieve surveillance video from...
I'm sorry, y'all.
A resident at that apartment complex. The video overlooked the playground in the complex where many of the children were playing that day. That video did capture Lena playing on the playground. She was with her mother and her younger brother. At some point during the video, she walked off the screen, and that was the last sighting that we have of her on video.
And it's obvious this was taken at the one.
Obviously, we haven't found Lena. It is being investigated as a missing person, a missing child, to be more specific. And to be honest, they are suspicious circumstances based on the child's age. The fact that we have not found any evidence to indicate where she's at, and other than where she was last at.
We've received hundreds of leads that we have followed up on. We've partnered with other local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies to follow up on all the leads. Unfortunately, none of the leads we've received have led us to finding Lena.
There is a critical witness somewhere out there that person that knows something needs to come forward and disclose.
What's important to know is that none of the leads we've received to this point have led us to finding Lena. And that's our ultimate goal, is to find Lena. Until she's found, no person and no theory can be ruled out on what happened to her.
We believe that children don't just vanish into thin air. And if that person that saw something, that knows something, if that person has not come forward, it's not too late to do so, and we implore that they do.
Yes. Big, beautiful eyes. She's just absolutely precious. And the father has helped U.S. military with a mission. If family were given visas for the U.S. Yeah. Yeah, they just don't vanish. They certainly just don't vanish. We're going to go to Google Maps here in a little bit, but I do want to give you the rundown on what all is happening here, little Lena. Should I play that? Let me just read this first. Police say there's a following up on the tip they received. This comes at a day after Lena's family met with law enforcement to express concerns with the investigation. A search that began Thursday morning on the north side may be related to the disappearance of Lena Sardar Khil, who was 3 years old when she went missing in 2021 from a San Antonio apartment complex. 2021 was just an awful year for missing kids. Crews were searching in the areas behind the Helix apartments at, is it Wurz? I don't know how to, Wurzbach? Is that right? Am I saying it right? Okay. Wurzbach and Blumel, which is about a half mile from where Lena disappeared. Police say that they are following up on a tip that they received. Officers at the scene said they have received similar tips over the years that prompted these types of searches without necessarily informing the public. They have done several searches over the last 3 years, some we know about, some that we obviously don't know about. And what was it? I think last year they was searching a waterway, like I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was a lake or a river. They were searching a body of water at that time. The family feels like that the police aren't doing enough. They've been kind of critical on the police, which, to be honest with you, I don't mind. I don't mind, because if you are trying to press those police, that, in my opinion, just is like, that's what a parent should be doing. That's what they should be doing. Keeping in contact with them. So there's that. All right. Quote, this is not the first time we have been out doing these kinds of searches, said Officer Rodrigo Guzman of the San Antonio Police Department. In today's case, in the public space, and residents called in, quote, concerned why police were here. Lena's remains an active missing persons case at SAPD. Surveillance video previously released by police show her at the playground on December 20th, 2021, before she disappeared. In that video, she can be seen wearing a red outfit and coat while playing near other children. At one point, she walks out of the video, and that is the last time Lena is ever been seen. San Antonio Police Department and FBI could be seen scouring the greenway between Helix Apartments and Auburn Creek Apartments with the help of canines. Pamela Allen, heard Eagle Flight Advocacy and Outreach, met Wednesday with investigators alongside Lena's father, Riaz, father friend Lawang, and the other members of the Islamic community during the meeting, which was held at public safety headquarters. Lena's family expressed frustration about what they believe is an absence in regular communication by law enforcement to provide updates on their daughter's investigation. So let me show you this, and then I'm going to show you an interview, maybe. 1 second.
Good afternoon. I'm Jeremy Baker. We have breaking news in the case of Lena Khil, the little girl who disappeared from her Northwest Side apartment complex in 2021. San Antonio police say they are looking into a new tip regarding the investigation. There is a large police presence now behind the apartment complex on Blue Mill Road that is very close to the complex on Fredericksburg Road, where Lena went missing. KENS 5 Zach Briggs joins us live now. Zach, what are police telling you?
Well, we're here at the Helix Apartments, just a half a mile away from where Lena Sardar Khil went missing back in December of 2021. And behind the property here, police are in a wooded area looking around, and they're following up on a tip they received this morning regarding Lena's disappearance. This happens to be one of several tips police have followed up on since 3-year-old Lena went missing from the apartment complex off of Fredericks Road in 2021. Last seen playing outside in the apartment playground, which used to be called Villas del Cabo. And right now, police, CSI, and K9 units are on scene, scouring around throughout a certain section of this greenway, which is taped off to the public. Now, police couldn't reveal the nature of the tip or who called it in. Police say that they investigate every tip and take them very seriously, giving regular updates to Lena's family. It's been more than 2 years of heartache for Lena's family, who've been waiting for answers from law enforcement, praying for the day when she's found. Now, here's SAPD's Ricardo Guzman from earlier this morning.
This case affected the city of San Antonio pretty heavily 2 years ago. People still talk about this case. It's still a really relative case. On the top of...
Okay, we're going to watch that entire thing in just a moment, so I don't need to double play it for you there. Now, Lena's father was out today. Let me just show you this photo real quick while I got it here. This is a photo of the crime scene unit that where they were searching at today as well. So a search is underway on northwest side of San Antonio related to the disappearance of Lena Sardar Khil. Okay, just beautiful, bright little girl. Don't understand, man. I don't understand why people take something that is not theirs.
So there.
All right, here's Lena's father and his friend, who's
nothing very detailed. So only they talked with us, and they told us that we received a tip last night. So they are here since last night here. So they are waiting for some equipment. So maybe they will receive the equipment, so maybe the search will continue for tomorrow. So we cannot share more information because we don't have. But they told us that we received tip last night, so they are here since last night here, and they are searching the area. So they are waiting for certain kind of equipment. So when they will receive, they will start their search.
Long, if you mind if we talk with you mic'd up about this ongoing search?
Maybe at the end, let them compile the search, then we can talk in the details. But just because yesterday we had a meeting with the SAPD and FBI, so soon after that they have this search party, and they receive the tip. So let them see what they get from the search, then we will talk. Okay.
Hello, I'm Pamela Allen. I'm the CEO of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach. I'm also the advocate for the family of Lena. We just spoke with some of the investigators, SAPD investigators, who said that they received a tip They've been here since last night, and they are waiting for equipment. When I asked them about what type of equipment, because we have so many that have the ability to dig, they said that's not the type of equipment that they were waiting for. When I asked again, what type of equipment, is it something that maybe can take an x-ray, they said yes. So they're waiting for something to be able to see what's under the dirt. They said they received a tip for this particular area, which is what we wanted to confirm with them as well. For those of you who've been following the case, you know that this was one of the first areas that we searched. Also, I know SAPD came back here and searched this area as well. But Dad has been through this area. I think it was the second week after Lena went missing. And just for those of you, I know some of you know this information. There was a meeting yesterday with Riaz, Luong, another translator, a member of the Afghani Council, and myself. And it was just to exchange information and to ask that communication be more readily available for the family. And so that happened yesterday. Here we are, February 20th. Lena will be turning 6. Dad is very frustrated. The family is very saddened by the fact that she has been missing for 2 years. And when I asked Dad if we could do something to commemorate her birthday, his answer was, please, no more. He's just spent. So that's what we have right now. And of course, you can see there's a porta potty that's been brought in. So that means they're going to be here for a while. And they have confirmed that they will be here. They are waiting for the equipment to come. And so that's what we know.
And does anything about this search seem different from the others they conducted?
A bit. We were kind of taken back by that. And we wondered, too, if it had anything to do with the meeting yesterday. But they're here. What if? We always go back to what if. And so we're just going to pray for a good outcome.
Do they say specifically what they're looking for?
They are looking for a body.
How does the family feel about this moment? Does it raise their hopes up? Is it frustrating?
That's right there when she said they are looking for a body. My head is just reeling. Like, this was called in very early. Did they, like, what was it? You just want to know, like, what was it that?
Optimistic. Is it upsetting?
Very frustrating because, as I said before, and they've stated this before, they feel that the communication has not been forthcoming. And so in that meeting yesterday, it was to clear the air and try to get some more answers. There have been so many tips. We still get tips. There was a Afghani little girl's body, an Afghani little girl that was found up in Canada, and it's something that they followed up on. But sometimes he finds out so much through social media. And I'm going to tell you, this father's heart is broken. Anytime that there's a roundup of sexual predators and they put that on the news, he'll take a screenshot, send it to me and say, but did they ask about Lena? And so he continues to search. He continues to look for answers. And I will tell you all that one thing that they're very grateful for is that media has stayed with this story so that continue to push and continue to search for their daughter. Thank you so much.
By chance, you speak Spanish?
I do not.
I have a question about the meeting last night. So that was not connected. Who called that meeting?
It was a meeting that SAPD reached out to the family for because, again, they had heard concerns of Riaz, who is Lena's father. They had some concerns about the communication, so they called the meeting, and there was quite a few people there, and it was a very welcomed meeting just to exchange information.
That was before this tip, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. It was yesterday afternoon.
And so as far as we know, the tip was received this morning.
The tip was received last.
I was thinking about that too, painting and Puzzle Princess. That's I don't know if that's an irony or if that's, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't feel like the family is involved in this. I just don't feel like the family, like the mom or dad, are involved. I mean, I could be wrong, but they don't have any history of violence, anything like that. The dad was in some, type of military service, and he, from what I understand, worked with the Afghani and the United States governments. Which is more common than people realize. So I just don't feel like they're involved at all. Now, maybe another family member, possibly, but I don't feel like the mom and dad are involved. It just seems like this happened on a playground, right? Who do you think of? Who do you think of whenever you think a kid on a playground? We think of RSOs, right? Creeper in a van kind of thing. Stereotypical, creeper in a van. Could be something completely different, but I don't feel like these parents are involved whatsoever. Yeah, I know it's the mother does not generally speak out. She doesn't talk. It is it's a cultural thing. It's not that it's just cultural. That's it. That's the only thing I can tell you. It's so yeah.
Last night, they have been there. They told us that they have been here since last night, and they plan on being here for a while to wait for the equipment.
Do you know anything about the tip? What the person
I do not. I don't know anything about the tip other than it was something in this area and that they're waiting for equipment. They want to be thorough in this search.
They weren't sitting on the tip. Nope.
Communication is now starting to open up. And again, that's been their concern.
You know about what time last night?
I don't. It was in the evening. And the meeting that we had over at SAPD headquarters was a little after 10 in the morning. Yes, sir.
And then, could you tell us the gentleman's name who first came up and spoke?
That was Lawang Mangal. He is the translator for Riaz.
You know how you spell it?
Lawang, Lawang, Mangal, Mangal.
How you spell Riaz?
Riaz.
Where's Lena's mother? Is she Afghan?
Lena's mother is just been very distraught over this. And so Riaz does take care of her and covers her. And so this has been extremely difficult for the mother.
Thanks for watching KSAT. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to
So there we have that. This little girl, man. I've never felt bad for being overprotective with my child. Let me tell you something. You can never be overprotective with your kids. That is one thing you can never be, in my opinion, is overprotective. I've never, you can be, not watch them close enough, and God forbid things happen, and things can happen if you're a great parent. I'm not saying that, but it's good to be a helicopter parent, in my opinion. So the question is, what happened after she was out of war? That's the question. I feel like someone may have known this family or known of this family, knew that this family is a more vulnerable in the population, so to speak. They don't speak, good English. They are, new here in the country. So I think predators, if they knew that, they could take advantage of a family like that. Just my opinion. So there's that. All right. Now the mother is having a hell of a time, y'all. She's, she was pregnant during this time. She was pregnant. And, I've never been pregnant and I'll never be pregnant, but I can't imagine being, pregnant and, it's hot outside. You're just trying to let the kid play for a little bit, get some, some sun.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social
Give
media?
you a break.
We are too. The Verify newsletter answers
A little
your
bit.
questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Officer Ricardo Guzman, RACARDO GUZMAN.
Okay, this is Officer Ricardo Guzman, and he is the one that's going to tell us about what they were doing out there and all of that.
Police officer with the San Antonio Police Department's Public Information Office.
So it's around 10:10 on Thursday morning. What are you guys doing out here right now?
Absolutely. So in the early hours of today, we received a tip involving the Lena Kill case. As we have for the last 2 years, we follow up every single tip that we receive on this case. So we do our due diligence. Our officers are out here. We got CSI out here as well, looking for any clues, following up on that tip that we received. Again, this is what we do for every tip. So we're out here. We'll be here until we're confident that we find something or we don't find anything. But we're just doing our part. And this is still an active case. For the last 2 years, we've been doing our due diligence and following up on every tip that we receive. And as we're doing that today.
So this happens to be in a kind of public area. There's a lot of news cameras out here right now. You just alluded to this. Because we're documenting this doesn't mean it's the first time in a long time that you guys are out doing searches. You're out there whenever you get a tip.
Correct. This is not the first time that we've been out here doing these kinds of searches. Again, we follow up on every tip. A lot of times, large police presence brings media attention. This doesn't necessarily mean that we don't do these. They just don't get covered by the media outlets. It's not something we're broadcasting that we're out here. But obviously, large police presence brings media attention. And in today's case, it is a public space. There's an area behind these apartment complexes where we're searching. So residents called in, concerned, why is there police here? Again, we're just doing our part in searching for Lena. So there is the public safety is key here. There is no danger to the public. Police just here doing their job and investigating this case.
And when did this tip come in approximately?
All I have is that this tip came in today, and we've been out here for early hours of this morning.
What was the nature of it?
I can't go into detail what the tip was.
So obviously they're not telling what the tip was, but they got the tip that morning. And I mean, you would think that for them to bring all of the resources out there, right? All of the technology, and they were waiting on more technology, the dogs, all of that it had to ring a bell. It had to be something. Yeah. And they said no danger to the public, which means, well, I don't want to say what it, I don't know. No danger means they know something. I think they know more. They may even know who it is at this point, but they may be looking for Lena before they, go ahead with anything. Wish the dogs could talk. Yeah.
What about that location in the back?
attractive to investigators?
Just following up on the tip that we received. This was the location of the tip. So we're just following up on that.
For people who aren't familiar with the geography, are we relatively close to where she vanished from?
Correct. We are relatively close to where everything took place, the initial location of where this came. We are relatively close to that. And that's why we're here. Again, residents in this area are concerned. They remember what happened over 2 years ago. So they're calling in, obviously, with concern, maybe curious as to what happened. And so that's why we're out here. We're just searching for.
How often are you guys in communication with Lena's father and parents? Because in the past, they've complained about the absence of communication between SAPD. As far as getting regular updates, they feel like their voice isn't heard. What do you say to that?
You know, I can't go into detail as far as how often that communication happens. You know, this is still an active case. What I can say is our detectives are in communications with the family when needed. If there is an update, we will provide them with an update. If there's anything that we need to address with them, we will, and we do. How often that occurs, I can't speak on that. But when something needs to be addressed, our detectives do reach out to the family.
How would you describe the response that's going on back there right now? Like, number of people, what kind of people?
Yeah, we have obviously SAPD personnel. Crime scene investigation is back there as well. We do have other partners here with us, helping us out, that they've been involved since the beginning.
Thank you for 8 continuous months, Sissy C. That's very kind of you. Guys, did you know that little Lena survived I can't even say it, unaliving bomber in Afghanistan? A bomber in Afghanistan. She survived that in Afghanistan, this little kid, before she came here to America. Mm-hmm. Gwen, thank you so much, my dear, for 6 months. Thank you so much for 6 continuous months. I appreciate it. And Sissy, thank you so much for gifting 1 membership. I appreciate you. If you was the one that received that, please thank our beloved Sissy. Just unbelievable. I'll tell you some more in a minute.
I can't go into detail who exactly is here, how many people are here, but we do have a large presence of police, law enforcement agencies, and our partners out here helping us with the search. We do have a K9 unit out here. We do have dogs out here who are, would you say, the experts in these kinds of cases. So they're out here helping us out as well.
And is this the property of the Helix apartment complex that they're searching on? Whose property is it exactly?
I'm not sure. That's a great question. To my knowledge, it's not the Helix Apartments property. It is a greenway / wooded area behind the apartment complex. I'm not sure that the apartment complex owns it. To my knowledge, it's not related to the apartment complex at all. It just so happens that that's where we're at right now.
Is the person who gave the tip, were they close to the family?
Unfortunately, I can't go into detail of who gave this tip, how we received this tip. All we can say is that we received a tip.
Do you remember approximately what time you guys showed up here?
It was early hours of today.
Like before 6 a.m. After 6?
I don't have the exact number.
So early this morning.
Early this morning. That's the details that I received.
And was someone from here, this apartment complex?
I'm sorry?
Was it someone from this apartment complex?
I can't say who gave that tip. For the safety of the person going on.
Now that's interesting what he says right there. I can't say anything for the safety of that person. Now, I'm just speculating here. I just want to be very clear. Yesterday, the family said, they got together with the police. They were frustrated. And today this happens. It kind of feels like, in my opinion, whoever did this to Lena knows that family or knows of that family or knows or is watching them intently on everything that they do. That's the feeling I get. That's just the feeling I get. Could be completely wrong. May have nothing to do with it. I'm just telling you my opinion. Yesterday, they're talking to the police. Today, a tip goes in. I don't know. Just want to put that out there. I just feel like whoever did this is close by, number one. Number two is watching this family very, very close. Very, very close. Like it's there, that person could be Karen, could be, but I feel like this is someone that they know very close, that they would never expect to do this. Something happened, something got out of hand, or there's a sick perversion or something, and this person they know, or they have, regardless, they are watching them closely. Watching that family closely, everything that they do.
Give that out.
We could just put a bow on this. You said this at the beginning. You're going to respond to whatever tips you get. It has been 2 years. This is a high-profile case. It has a lot of international attention. You guys are doing whatever you can to get
Absolutely.
this solved, to find out where she is.
Absolutely. You know, this case affected the city of San Antonio pretty heavily 2 years ago. People still talk about this case. It's still really relevant.
It could come from the Afghani family. I mean, let me tell you something. In Afghanistan, if this happens to you or any Middle Eastern country, you are going to be publicly hung. You are going to be publicly beheaded. So they don't mess around. They don't mess around in the Middle Eastern countries. I'll tell you that. So we'll just have to see. Which, you know, I think they should do that here.
Case on the top of the SAPD Facebook page, we still have this pinned on top. Anyone with any information to please call Special Victims Unit or call the Missing Persons Unit. Anyone with any information to come forward. Here at San Antonio Police Department, we're doing our part, following up every tip. If there is someone who does know something, who might, even how little of information it may be, it could help close this case. Well, thank y'all.
All right, so there we have that. All right. Okay, now we're going to go. This is about the day little Lena went missing. Look how beautiful she is. You can tell this is. I don't think this is in San Antonio. It might be in San Antonio. She went missing in the winter months, 5 days before Christmas in 2021 at 9400 Fredericksburg Road, San Antonio, Texas. The department released a video on Tuesday, which was 2 years ago. Lena was last seen on a playground at her family's apartment complex on Fredericksburg Road. She was wearing a red dress, a black jacket, and black shoes. Her mother told the police, that she left Lena playing at the playground for a short time in the early evening hours. When she returned, her daughter was gone. Police said other adults and children were around when her mother left. So mom says that, you know, when she left him, there was other adults around. She just went in, she came back. Now, which that says to me right there, that alone right there says to me that whoever took Lena was watching that playground. They had to be watching that playground. A man, most likely a man, a woman, or whatever, but that person had to be watching that playground. Just like I was just saying just 5 minutes ago, that person, whoever the person is that did this, has to know them, obviously know of them, and is watching them very closely. Okay, so there's that. All right. When Lena went missing, the San Antonio police and the FBI searched the area around the apartment several times, including a creek near Babcock Road that they were searched by the FBI divers on January 5. On the day she went missing, police obtained surveillance footage from a neighbor at the apartment complex that showed Lena walking out of the playground alone. Lena's disappearance shook the city and made national news. CBS News, ABC News, The Washington Post all reported Lena's last known whereabouts on December 20th, 2021. Popular gossip blogger Perez Hilton also added a write-up on his website. In September, New York Times reported that Lena survived a suicide bomber T attack in Afghanistan in the same year she vanished in Texas. The same year she survived that in Afghanistan. Talk about, wow. According to the publication, Lena's dad served as a soldier in the Afghan army. He assisted U.S. troops during their missions overseas. As a reward, the U.S. granted him and his family immigration visas. However, last summer, when the family visited their home, they found themselves feet away from a unalived who unalived 13 U.S. soldiers and hundreds of Afghanis. Lena and her family survived the blast and returned to San Antonio, but the hardships continued as Lena went missing. Quote, "We came from Afghanistan to have a happy and safe life here, but it didn't happen here." End quote. Lena's dad told New York Times, quote, "My whole life was ruined," end quote. Little Lena. So this is a custom. You see the bracelets? I want to show you something. These bracelets are very custom in the Middle Eastern culture. Usually girls wear them for a longer amount of time. Boys wear them not as long, but not all Middle Eastern and Indians and stuff wear them. But I'm married to a Middle Easterner, and so our boys had the bracelets. So I just wanted to point that out. Where is the investigation? In August, Pamela Allen, a family spokesperson, told the media that public searches are on pause for now as it is believed Lena is no longer in San Antonio or Texas. I wonder why they said that then. I wonder what. That's interesting. This says that. Pamela Allen, a family spokesperson, told the media the public searches are on pause for now and is believed Lena is no longer in San Antonio or Texas. However, she said the family still has hope to find Lena. Allen said she encourages others to continue to spread awareness in the communities. The Islamic Center of San Antonio announced in February that the increase of $120,000 reward for any information to Lena to $200,000. Meanwhile, Crime Stoppers of San Antonio has offered $50,000 for information resulting in the arrest or indictment of the suspect accused of involvement in Lena's disappearance, bringing the latest total to $250,000. Of course, in the next, you're very welcome. I wonder why they said they didn't think she was in Texas or San Antonio or Texas, even for that matter. Now, this was, when was this? This was in December 2022. So this was a year after she went missing. That's just weird to me. So yeah, little Lena, bless her heart. All right, I'll show you the street where she went missing on. This is the Villas. Okay. Here it is. This is the Villas. And it's an apartment. There's a lot of these in San Antonio. A lot of apartments that look like this in San Antonio. I lived in San Antonio for 3 months of my life before. Love San Antonio. Mostly it's been Android devices. So let me tell you something. If your device is freezing, your chat, if it is freezing, what you do is go to the YouTube app, update the app, and then exit YouTube after your app is updated. Exit YouTube and then come back in chat, and it has been solving just about everyone's that I know. You have Apple. See if there is an update for Apple, but it did it for me for like a week. The chat kept freezing. It was driving me insane. Yes. Justin, you had no luck. It still didn't work for you. You updated yesterday, but it still freezes. Huh. See if there's just another update. Just check it just to be sure. I don't know. Maybe uninstall YouTube altogether and then reinstall it and see if that works too. It is so frustrating. So frustrating, I know. But these are the apartments. I don't know. It says lease today. This is the apartment. I'm trying to see. I don't know where it's probably somewhere in the middle the playground is or something. It's usually somewhere like that, but it looks just like a normal, middle class, I guess you could say. When was this taken? Lease today. So yeah. Do you know if do they still live at those apartments? Mine's not freezing. It goes to a beginning of a live. I updated. Still doing. Someone said that they are working on YouTube. Well, okay. So I will tell you this. There is going to be a humongous Google update. Period. Google is going to look different. They're modernizing the website, so it's going to change its looks as well. Wasn't it said that uncle kidnapped her and took her back to her country? ? I don't know. I know that they said the uncle could be a suspect, but I don't know about anything else. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right. And then there is this. I'm trying to find. I don't guess you can see it from the road. Is this the villas too? Okay. And well, let me go past it. Okay. All right. Anything else? Let's see here. Oh, I didn't show you this. You live in Texas? All my exes live in Texas.
Late breaking news we brought you this morning. Now at noon, San Antonio police following up on yet another tip in the ongoing search for young Lena Khil, just a few days shy of her 6th birthday.
We have team coverage this afternoon. Katrina Weber is standing by. She was the first on the scene this morning. We'll have more from her in just a minute.
But first, you'll recall Lena disappeared from an apartment complex playground in December of 2021 when she was 3 years old. And right now, police are saying that they're following up on the tip from early this morning that led them to a greenway by some apartment complexes off of the 4400 block of Blue Mill, not too far from Fredericksburg Road near the medical center, only about a half-mile away from where Lena disappeared.
And that's where we find our Garrett Berger, who's been standing by this morning, talking to PIO. So, Garrett, what are the police saying so far this morning?
Right now, nothing specific, just that they're looking into the tip. They haven't released whether or not they found anything, though we did see them bring something out of this shed behind me just a short while ago. Generally, they're saying right now they're out talking because this is such a public area. An SAPD spokesman said the tip indicated they could find some evidence in this greenway that's surrounded by a couple apartment complexes. He wouldn't go into the details of the tip, but said it is possible they could be looking for young Lena's body right now. He says they have crime scene investigators out here and multiple partners, though he wouldn't say exactly which ones. We've seen dogs and some kind of equipment rolled through the wooded area, and they actually came out and started poking around that shed I mentioned at the edge of where we are, just outside of the wooded area. Now, it does appear people may have been staying in the greenway, though police say that does not tie into the case. And while police don't know if this is a good tip yet, the spokesman said they treat them all seriously.
In the last 2 years since Lena's been missing, there has been multiple searches. Not every search that we do, not every tip that we get we put out there. One, for the integrity of the case, let the detectives do their job. But two, for the family. This is still a family matter. It's still personal to them. So we're not broadcasting every single thing that we receive. Again, in this case, it's just a public area, and that's why we're out here right now.
Now, the spokesman said to his knowledge, this area was subjected to a search after Lena's original disappearance. So it's not clear what they may be finding this time around. But it is still being considered a missing persons case by San Antonio police. Now, right now, Katrina Weber's out near another apartment complex around the wooded area. She's been out here all morning. Katrina?
We're getting quite an eyeful on this side. We have a different vantage point. We can see police going in and out of that wooded area, and they have all their equipment set up here. You can see this giant mobile crime scene unit as well as other units here. We have seen people walking around as well with FBI jackets, so it appears that the federal investigators are here as well. Let me give you a look at the video that you can see from earlier. We've been out here since about 8 o'clock this morning. I did talk to several neighbors off camera, and they say that this setup was here long before that. So it seems that they may have been here since before daybreak. We have seen police with dogs, with shovels, and also carrying cases of water into the wooded area, meaning that they may be here for the long haul. Now, we're not sure what, if anything, they have found. We have not seen them bring anything out of the woods except those dogs that they took in earlier. But they do have this active search going on here. And the timing may be a bit curious because we were told, or that we did confirm that the family of Lena Khil met with police just yesterday, and now this search has come about today, police say, from a tip. So we're waiting to find out what, if anything, they have found as a result of the search based on a tip that they have received at some point in the past. But again, a very active scene out here, attracting a lot of attention from neighbors. Reporting live near the medical center, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Excuse me.
Trending today, former Spokane NAACP president.
Okay. That's what's her name. All right. So that's some real pain too. Yeah, when you hit your head, when you hit in your face. Yeah, I do that. I'll be in bed and I'll have like the phone like this and I'll fall asleep and it'll be like, it hurts. It hurts. They just got the whole dog scent unit there, not just canine. Yeah. It's such a mystery. And somebody knows. Somebody close there knows. I think that's all I got. Let me make sure. Search for a body tip came in Wednesday. Pamela Allen, local child advocate and family liaison to KSAT. Search for a body tip came in Wednesday. Residents saw at scene Wednesday night with. Okay. I want to show you all this because some of y'all were saying this in chat. Pamela Allen, local child advocate and family liaison to KSAT, search for a body. Tip came in Wednesday. Residents saw police at scene Wednesday night with someone wearing what appeared to be a jail jumpsuit. Lena, her dad, Riaz, was at the scene along with Allen. Boy, that's interesting as well. Some of y'all was saying in chat, and I hadn't seen it until this. Maybe an inmate's talking. Yep. I mean, it had to be. Yes, they can. They'll post my email there for you. I'm being honest. What jails around? Someone escapes. I mean, look how cute she is. Bless her heart. So cute. So, this was at 4411 Gardendale, I believe. Okay. This is right behind the hospital. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Okay, here we go. That's very interesting, actually. Could it be someone that said that they did something? Did they know? Were they trying to make a deal?
Of Lena Sardar Khil. She was just 3 years old when she was last seen playing outside of her Northwest Side apartment complex. This morning, a remembrance was held in honor of her at the American Muslim Community Center. Founder of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach, Pamela Allen, spoke about the heartbreak.
I've heard the cries of mothers before who've had their children missing or who've had their children murdered. It's a different cry, and it's a cry you never want to hear.
KENS 5 Sarah Duran reports with what we know as Lena's case remains a mystery to this day. Another year without answers. Today, Lena remains a missing persons case with San Antonio police. Behind me is the apartment complex she went missing from on December 20th, 2021. A year later, police released this surveillance video, which shows her at a playground inside the complex. You can see Lena wearing a red outfit and coat. At one point, she walks out of the video, and that's the last time she was seen. In February of this year, her family released an updated sketch of the girl. The picture shows what Lena could possibly look like now at age 5 to 5.5. It was released during an observance to mark her 5th birthday. Through a translator, her father told me he hoped it would bring in more tips.
She's growing very fast. Children are growing very fast. So yeah, I'm hopeful that that picture will help us to find Lena, and it has the resemblance of Lena.
No progress in the case has created frustration for the family, but the girl's father has not given up hope on finding Lena alive someday. If you know anything about this case, you are urged to contact SAPD's Missing Persons Unit. There is also a cash reward still being offered by Crime Stoppers and the Islamic Center of San Antonio. On the Northwest Side, Sarah Duran, KENS 5. Thanks so much, Sarah. And the San Antonio Police Department released a statement on Lena that says in part, quote, the San Antonio Police Department remains committed to following up on and investigating every lead we receive. The lead detective continues to use all tools available, including working with our partners at the FBI to investigate all leads, end quote. Now, if you have any information, you're asked to call the Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660.
Okay. Without a trace. 1 second. They've also looked into Lena's parents submitting Riaz to a polygraph test. Asked about the status of the investigation, police issued a statement Friday saying the department remains committed in following up the investigation. Every lead that we receive, the lead detective continues to use all available tools, including working with our partners at the FBI, investigates all leads, official said. SAPD would like to take this opportunity to ask anyone with information of Lena's disappearance or her whereabouts to please call the police. Lena's father and the refugee community have been relentless in their search as well. They sifted through grassy areas, and hundreds of people drive past on their way to and from the medical center area. Still, nothing has been said officially about what has happened to the brave Afghani girl who survived a bomber, as her family fled from turmoil that engulfed her home country. Yeah, just nothing. God, it's so frustrating. She needs to be home. Yeah, that's where they was searching. Snow was right behind that medical center right there. Yeah. Maybe it was safe to leave her outside for a few minutes in Afghanistan. No, it's really not safe to do it in Afghanistan. Any Middle East, there is a lot of kidnappers in that part of the world. You never, ever leave them out. Like, you think here's bad? You don't know nothing. You think it's bad here? That part of the world, you don't leave them out because they will be kidnapped very quickly. Yeah. Trust me on that. Trust. You don't, like, everything is nailed down. Didn't you see Aladdin? So, I don't know. All right, guys. I will keep you up to date on this. Hopefully, I suck at Google Earth, but Justin is. Oh, trust me. I suck at Google Earth as well. Trust me. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I will keep you up to date on this as hopefully something comes out soon. I pray to the good Lord in heaven above that something comes out for Lena. Somebody knows. Somebody close knows. I feel confident, in my opinion, in saying that. We'll see. We'll see. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please hit that thumbs up if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up yet and consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed. Also, everything that I played today is in the description below. You can go there and look at them yourself if you want on your own time as well. Thank you, guys. Good night. God bless. I'll see you guys at 8:30 in the morning. We will be covering Adam Montgomery trial, 8:30 in the morning. So sleep tight. Love you guys. Good night. Bye-bye.